The first case of the deadly Chinese coronavirus making its way to the U.S.
And now we're just days away from hitting 1,000.
In the last 24 hours, 3,866 Americans have died due to the virus.
283,000 new infections. Just
top 400,000 in the next few days.
Good evening. We begin with the latest in the coronavirus.
For the coronavirus.
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 Atlanta. A booming city filled with attractions bringing people from all over to see them. However, on March 13, 2020, the coronavirus officially hit the minds of people, causing schools to shut down, restaurants to close, and many other businesses to pivot. Every part of our life was changed in one way or another, but the environment of Metro Atlanta changed completely through transportation, wildlife, and construction. Atlanta is one of the worst offenders for air pollution and was ranked the 25th most polluted city in the nation for ozone, otherwise known as smog. However, with coronavirus causing less people going out, weekday traffic in the early months of March and April was down by 50% compared to pre-pandemic levels. And with one look outside, you can see more people than ever walking or riding their bikes, which results in saving millions of metric tons of carbon dioxide from polluting the air. But with social distancing in effect, public transportation has seen a huge dip in users. On April 3, 2020, Malta saw rail users drop 75% and bus riders drop 59%. And by December 6, 2020, 70 of Atlanta's 110 bus routes have been suspended or permanently closed. With the lack of revenue heading towards Malta, the Atlanta public transportation system could be crippled for years to come, even after the pandemic. And with the streets abandoned compared to before the outbreak, street racing has become much more common, which threatens the safety of drivers around them. Luckily, street racing has slowed down, but at the cost of traffic levels returning to just 10 to 20% under the regular amount. However, since more people are working from home, around 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., traffic is still down by about 40%. With more people than ever staying off the streets, wildlife around urban Atlanta has seen a considerable increase. Biologists from Georgia Department of Natural Resources has set up cameras around urban Atlanta to observe wildlife. Around February, very early in the pandemic, the motion-activated videos of animals would go off around every other day. But once Corona was in full swing during late March, they would capture multiple videos of animals every day. Not only have people been seeing more wildlife in their backyard, but many families have even brought their own animals to their backyards by adopting animals like dogs. There are no numbers out there, but everyone seems to know a neighbor or best friend that recently bought a dog. Local dog parks are more packed than ever. Sadly, not everyone gets their dogs from local adoption centers or private breeders. Large pet corporations such as Petco have seen a 9% increase in revenue and earned a total of $3.6 billion in the first 3 quarters of 2020. Petco and other large corporations don't care about the safety of their pets and buy them from animal mills such as Holmes Farms, which is notorious for treating their animals harshly, like suffocating mice in plastic bags or cramming both living and dead bunnies in tight spaces to save money on spacing. Coronavirus has done little to stop Atlanta from expanding though. To continue the flow of construction, Mayor Bottoms deemed construction workers to be essential workers. Although the first 3 quarters of the year saw a 30% decrease in building permits, that number is compared to 2019's record-breaking number of building permits. Even though the coronavirus has been able to stop an abundance of air pollution and let some of the animals take the streets back, the ever-expanding nature of Atlanta's concrete jungle barely even stuttered in the face of the coronavirus. The final quarter of 2020 even started to increase in building permits. Overall, while the coronavirus has had some positive short-term effects on the environment, they are rather limited, and long-term it's unlikely that some of the positive gains will remain.